Welcome to Uncloaked Illusions. I'm Chris Anthony, and I'm here to say Happy New Year and also touch bases on something that transpired at the end of 2017, which I've discussed in a previous video. The Petro Yuan is launched. It's official. So now the U.S. has a competition. Other countries will be able to choose between the petrodollar and the Petro Yuan. And this is going to give countries more leverage, more of a choice. And for the most part, I predict that they're going to go with the Petro Yuan because in truth, it does give them more of a choice. And they don't have to worry about being dominated by a country that's gone rogue. Now, this is also going to create issues for the United States, being that countries now have that choice. You're going to see a great deal of dollars come back to the United States. And this is going to create hyperinflation. And mind you, hyperinflation is something that as a country we should avoid going through because I believe in the 80s it was something that was implemented. It had to disinflate it. But now we're living in an era where we have a rogue Fed that really doesn't want to regulate anything properly. And you're going to witness your cost of living literally go through the roof. You think it has been going up for the past 20 years at a alarming rate. You're going to see this more so because countries will not have to be pegged to the petrodollar to do trade with any other country. They don't have to purchase our dollar anymore. So that's why you're going to see it come right back. And I mentioned something about the productivity and the wages in the previous video as well, dealing with Porter Stanberry's his prediction. Now, you're definitely going to see a major disconnect between productivity and wages. And, mind you have to prepare yourself for this. Also, note the restaurant industry, which is also imploding. It's about to go bust. Every other week, I see a plethora of restaurants opening, and you have to wonder why. This economy has been inflated with restaurant and service industry jobs that are part-time. Now, this is to make sure you don't get the benefit packet that a job would have to offer you if you worked more than 32 hours for them. So this has all been implemented for a reason. The the Social Security, the unemployment, all of these things, the 401k, the retirement benefits that one would receive, it's all in danger. Just prepare yourself for it. I would encourage one to get into tangible assets like gold, silver, making sure you own your property, making sure you own something and you're not really in debt. Get out as much debt as you possibly can because the collapse is coming. It's going to happen slowly as they've been able to maneuver it to this particular point where it is happening almost at a glacier pace. But nevertheless, it's still happening. And we're going to see a great deal of that start to unravel even more so. That's the reason they are doing a great deal of cuts in the government, in the programs. You're going to see a great deal of the welfare reform happen as well. We have a great deal of people in the United States living off of the welfare system, but then there's over 70 programs, welfare programs, that people can receive these quote unquote benefits, all at the taxpayer's dollar. I agree with something such as that because that I believe the welfare system, which is a poverty system as well, keeping people out of poverty, that's like $20 trillion in debt. It's it's connected with the deficit, which is 20 trillion as well. And we still haven't managed to cure poverty. Shameful, very shameful. I'm Chris Anthony. Just wanted to touch bases on a couple things. We'll be getting in full gear to get some things going on this year. Working on an article right now, short-lived article, to kind of encourage black people and give them a little information to get out of the Democratic Party, really disenfranchising themselves from any party and building their own community and creating an economic platform. Because we have no power, thus the reason we're always looking for some governmental official to bring us some type of interest. And they won't. Traditionally and historically, Asians never voted. They really weren't big in that arena, but they had an economic platform which they were able to buy their interests. They were able to purchase these things, and because we spend $1.3 trillion, we have this spending power, but none of it funnels back to the black neighborhoods, to the black communities. We wonder why we just seem to continue to get poor and stagnant, and we have nothing to leave the generation or our kids following us. Really didn't want to speak on the black community in general because that's a whole different segment. I can go on and on about the ills and the lack of diversity dealing with the black community, but I digress. You need to pay attention to this particular move that China has just made, and they've just implemented this particular this particular Petro Yuan that's going to it's going to be a rival with the United States. I've been saying this is going to be the next superpower, and it seems to be coming to fruition. And it's just because I pay attention to what's going on. I'm paying attention to what history says is going to happen. If we're not paying attention, and we're bound to repeat certain things if we don't heed things from our past or history. And that's what we seem to be doing. Like, subscribe, share the video. Let's get this conversation going. Let's open up dialogue to communicate with each other and hopefully get some ideas on how we should, as a nation, grow and evolve to a better place and get out of this narcissism and this materialism and this loving self for the most part. And we're not paying attention to what's going on a global stage, because whether you want to believe it or not, because it's not affecting you at this moment, it's going to affect you at some point. Chris Anthony, and I am out.